And then today we're malpractice. Okay. All right, one more time. Medical malpractice. The practice of medicine is not simple, precise, or routine. Error happens. Medicine. Physicians have the overwhelming obligation to find disease, make diagnoses, select procedure, measure progress, hypothesize outcomes. So, medical judgment. Medicine is in its complexity. Because again, one person, there's little, often as yet physicians chosen roles make these what is best for the, and more importantly, falls into safety concept, standards of care have to do all of that. Physicians, by adhering to the standard of care theory, step with their colleagues, they're doing the same, like the same radiologist does the same standard of radiology standard of do a lot of research. Remain safe, right? And where defense is possible in the face of medical error. Okay. Nonetheless, physicians, for the most part, are healers and view mistakes as unacceptable and are constantly diligent to most dedicated physicians at their own hand. A patient suffers worse death. So, what is medical malpractice? Medical error. Sue on medical error. And are there a lot of, does this happen a lot? Not so much. Oh, my baby didn't come out perfect. Oh, my hip is exactly perfect. Lots and lots and lots of lawsuits are happening. A lot of times, birth of baby, getting things were less and negligent committed by, no, this is negligent by a professional healthcare provider, treatment of a patient. It's a generally accepted care met by others for training. Negligence can include an error or delay in diagnosis, and you didn't action, which starting a lawsuit. Negligence results in harm. Doctor's action created away from generally accepted practice. I didn't do what the normal standard. However, not all errors made by the medical professionals are necessary malpractice, because there are risks, margins for error inherent to the practice of medicine. Now, I would be sued, but a half cent, not gonna, I can up to feel it, but am I gonna help with the whole thing? I don't know. Now, if it was, I would. Not all errors by professionals malpractice, risks and margins for practice of the healthcare. And this subcommittee burden of proof plaintiffs in medical malpractice. Hospitals blameless for the errors of their doctors. A hospital doctor did. The hospital. We have Susan's hospital. Under certain conditions for hiring. And it provides for punishment of offer expert testimony, false or misleading. Negligence, medical. Prove that the patient must perform a certain standard of conduct, breach the conduct. That was the proximate cause of the plaintiff's. You were supposed to cause me harm. The law imposes a on everyone to conduct themselves. Others. Ordinary action. Negligent. I didn't do what I was supposed to do. A person, I jumped up and down when my stitches were out, and my not going to. A physician didn't sew me up properly. For reason. Law holds medical professionals standard of care based on what is recognized and accepted. What we accept and appropriate by other healthcare providers. We talked about that. A couple cases out there, but most medical malpractice cases that a medical professional was negligent have to establish prima facie. So you have to show. Okay. So the existence of a duty owed by the defendant, standard of care that was measured, and it departed from this has to be injury. You can't just say, right. I didn't do it right if I wasn't. I was a. There's no medical negligence. From the cause of injury. Physician-patient relationship. The existence of a duty owed by the healthcare professional to the plaintiff. Ordinarily known evidence of a relationship. We have a relationship. It must be direct. There is a personal contact. Direct. No personal contact. No. Direct. You'll have to. Switch over this case. Okay. Applicable against which must be measured. Diagnosing and physicians have the duty to assess a degree of learning, skill, ability. Talking about this. Diligence, intelligence, ability. exercise their best judgment, taking careful diagnosis, thorough examination, permitted by the circuit by physician, very skill. Done. However, in the absence of a contract, guarantee of the accuracy of diagnosis, patients are not held to the highest standard, which was standard of absolute diagnosis, not an absolute. Medicine is absolute. Good. Specialists generally held to a higher standard. Specialists are knowledge and physicians in that space. A claim for medical malpractice, it may not be sufficient to allege what the defendant failed to do, as generally act or omission negligent, the harm. May be necessary, proper and omission or delay in diagnostic. Okay. Misinterpret diagnostic. Involved. Clinic or that x-ray then makes a diagnosis. Going to only know or blood. Failure to disclose information to the defendant, standard of care, break, don't have the right information. X-ray. A patient does not have to give up his rights by signing a consent form. There's a risk, consequences. Can I change it? Can't I don't can't do that? No, I have to accept everything. So a lot of people don't know. Again, at home, a lot of people know that it's a conversation, right? I consent to this. I don't consent. Yes, I don't consent. Then it makes me in the physician, right? Because if the physician's like, you need to consent to that or I'm not having surgery, right? It's a conversation, it's a contract. US not supposed to contract this thing. And it is put everybody accountable. Or do you risk the consequence, opportunity not to? And bottom of it, now that you going in there, right mind. Know what's going to happen to you. Told you what's going to happen, discussion, all of it. Because it's a contract, which is why I'm saying you should be able to change. Doctor won't do that. You have the right to do body and the right to choose what procedure.
Part
Abandonment? Just a contract? I offer you, don't accept, knowing that you can go find another physician. No? But then it depends on, oh, I was just here, my insurance already approved this, I should be able to contract. But if you're not happy with this, break the contract. Yes.
like what you said, like kind of contract, you're saying I can't sue you, right? But what if like middle surgery something happened, like an accident happened, they had to do something different, and it it had a different outcome. In that case, you can sue them, right? Like if you can prove that in the contract that was not like like yes, no.
Did the doctor act like a reasonable, prudent doctor? Would another doctor in that circumstance done alternative medicine in the way because of certain, like, so everything's going along, right? And all of a sudden something happens, you start bleeding, God forbid, you start bleeding. Well, now I have to do this. When I'm doing this, I did the best that I can, but more harm occurred. I sue you. Yes and no. Yes, if you deviated from the standard of care that other doctors with knowledge, experience, also not done. If you do everything, physician would have done, and emergency. It's an emergency, also an out clause, right? Yeah. That's, I mean, you have to look at everything. Now, if you go in there and they didn't have the right scalpel, they didn't have the right technical equipment, and that's what caused you to go into the emergency, then you can. Okay. If the doctor goes beyond the agreed procedure, doctor fails to abide by well-established medical procedure. If a person other than the one named on the consent form before the surgery, Dr. Jeffrey's in there, didn't say Dr. Jeffrey can be, and now you didn't consent and something goes wrong, then I can certainly sue Dr. Jeffrey. Now it's battery. I didn't express consent given in writing or verbally, if written, it's name of the healthcare provider, just the name of the provider, in the treatment, the date, the time, the location. That doesn't change it. That isn't a have a lawsuit, have up to date you knew of known. Sponges go to the doctor when there's harm. Well, if it's past 2 years, you didn't know until 3 years that you knew. Then why is there a sponge there? That date forward. Implied consent not given by a patient in writing or verbally, but understood from the surrounding the procedure. issue is this. A patient presents themselves for a relatively simple procedure, non-invasive procedure. Surgeon might want to patient already considered colonoscopy, and then you see a polyp. I'm going to take that. Not going to do a whole nother colonoscopy. But it's known, reasonable care, that this is what always happens. It's not different. Know that all physicians talk to you about it. No longer want to talk about letting people know that relationship. Document. Giving the patient written notice by mail, providing the patient with explanation, agreeing to provide treatment days. Time to find somebody else. Can't just be like, I'm out. Don't give the patient 30 days. Other resources, there's this physician here, this physician that also can. Offering a transfer, the records then go to you, they go to the other physician. The rise of the internet and e-health. What do you guys think about e-health? Health? Electronic health, yep. Electronic. So I can't see my doctor on telemed today. Call and then you talk to them. They say, where does it hurt? And you're like, see, and they can diagnose you. You guys do that a lot? Yeah. Have it a lot too. It changes the nature of the relationship because you're not in there talking to your doctor. You're a little different. Yeah. It offers convenience because you don't have to get in a car. Older patients that can't drive, right? Moms that are working and get both kids someplace but pop a kid on a phone and say, this is what's going on, maybe. It helps in some ways, but in some ways you lose something too. I think. I feel like that personal touch of, hi, how are you? Is where, okay, and you got pictures. It is lost. Right. There's also, when I walk into a physician room, you see all of me. And there's that, all of me. Hip effect. My shine. That might be a new wave. Office. That's a lot. A lot of times we'll treat you on telemed for this little issue. You want to see. Absolutely. I've never seen one. Yes. Yes. Oh, good. Yeah. Yeah. You should have one. I've never seen.
Closer. Okay.
uh, right? And some people say that telemed lose the humanity, but I think potential for access of the technology, I think it's better.
Through
That's
in your
true.
city.
No
And
specialists
so-
in the area. More range of access. Right. I think it does give you, or you have a specialist in Germany and I'm in the United States. Like, oh my gosh, I really need that person. Yeah. Or figure out if I want to get on a flight. That person.
and a lot.
Community, as a global community, healthcare, it's more inclusive. But you're right, it's limiting as well. And we have to know that going in. I think it's going to keep as we go. Body scan. Totally going off topic. What's the key? Shirt. If it can make a perfect app that's body, and I think that's the way that we're going to go. I really do. That means you need the technology. It means you need the phone, you need the camera, you need the app. That's an access to, well, when you don't have all that technology, cost way of an informed. Oh, just references. That's it. Just additional references if you want to do some research. Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you. I will see you guys. I will see you guys after lunch. We're going to do Emergency Medical Treatment Act, like why you have to get taken care of, walk into the hospital. So we'll do that. That's shorter. And then a little bit of bioethics and human genome and what's the genome project. Okay? Perfect. Enjoy lunch. Take care.